Good morning, everybody. It's Sunday. It's 11 a.m. Pacific time, and it's Teri Hunter and her trusty love of her life, Lucky, right here. We're here to welcome you into the new week. Good morning, everybody. Okay, he said his piece. Good morning, small wildflowers. Good to see you. Okay, here we go. All right, let me just fix this. I think I need to fix this. Okay, there we go. Hi, everybody. Hey, Juan, Cole, La Luna, welcome. Good morning. So, all right, first piece of business. We had a winner, you guys. Melissa Mansour, you won in the comments with number 24. And the other number 30, was not a winner. So, but we had a winner, so I'm really excited. Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Cece Pups. Good morning, Idam. I'm not saying that right at all. Okay. All right. So I didn't really come up with a totem this week, guys. I got to tell you, it was a little bit challenging week for me in the sense that I did not personally experience any interruptions or arguments or anxiety. But let me tell you, the effects of the eclipse, the effects of the conjunction between Pluto and Saturn are hitting my clients really, really hard. And this week, Neptune and Venus are joining each other in Pisces. So this is really dreamy. It is a very spiritual dynamic. It's a romantic dynamic. It can also reveal delusions and where we've been hiding and not really seeing things openly. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, McKenna. Good morning, Azura. Good morning, Diamond. Janet. Good morning to the person from Greece. Okay, so I just want to bring up that dynamic. We also have Mars squaring the situation. So I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but, you know, I believe Mars is the truth seeker. So we have this conjunction between Venus and Neptune that's squaring Mars. It's going to really want to bring up the deepest truths that's going on around us, not only in our love life, but also spiritually. And I want to say this too, because Venus represents our self-worth. At least I always see it that way. She rules the second house Taurus as well as Libra. So this can be a time when we might really be looking at ourselves and looking at the love around us, our romantic partners, and evaluating the situation. Okay. Good morning, Janet. Double Pisces. Lucky's a double Pisces. The numbers this week. Okay. So we had as a winner, Melissa Mansour won with number 24. Yay, Melissa. She's been trying for a while, so I'm excited. And then number 30, I did not see that number come up. So if I'm wrong, let me know, because I love to give stuff away. But anyway, okay. So we're going to go right into our readings for the week. And as you guys that are familiar with me, I start with Pisces and work my way to Aries. And that's that. Okay, so here we go. Good morning, Sweden. Good morning, Teresa. I said hello to everybody else. I hate when I go back and I look and I've missed somebody. I want you all know I'm out there thinking of you. Yes, put your numbers in. We are now between 2 and 500 because 1 is out of play. Oops. All right, my Pisces. Here we go. Pisces rising, Pisces moon, Pisces sun, and Pisces stellium. Oceana is our first angel. The second is Layla. The third is Archangel Raphael. And the final is Archangel Uriel. Okay. Oh, I love seeing all those numbers. Good job. Good morning, Cosmo Kid. I think I said hi to Paula. Joe Williams. Good morning, Sunshine. Good morning, Artistic Mom. Good morning, Karen. Green Demeter. Intuitive astrologer. I like that. All right, here we go. Pisces. Joining Oceana is the letting go card. Joining Layla is the serpent. Joining Archangel Raphael is the bee card. And joining Archangel Uriel is the butterfly. Okay. Good morning, Aoi Mom. I can't say that right. Aoi Mammy. Hi, CJD. Okay. Pisces. All right, so we have Venus in your sign, where she loves to be, with Neptune, the ruler of your sign. And I want to say this because Oceana is about lovingly asserting yourself towards the things that you want. That's what she's saying. And if you look at her, she's really coming to the surface. The water represents our emotions, and there's a whale in the background of this card. I have been shown by Spirit that the whale really represents our soul's yearning, what we really want. So to me, Oceana is a very powerful totem for Pisces this week, or card energy, because it's about coming to the surface, coming into the light with what you want for your soul's yearnings. And I have the letting go card here. For me, for you guys that have heard me for a while, you know this is not about letting anything go. I don't know how to do that. It's the movie Frozen, the first one. It's the song Let It Go. It's funny how some distance makes everything look small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do, to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Pisces, it's time to be free and to move towards the things of your soul's yearnings and allow yourself to float to the surface. And how will you accomplish that? You will do it by connecting with Spirit. Again, here we have Layla. She's sitting over an ocean. Water this week is going to be super important for you. And I want to say it this week. If you live in the desert, that is not the absence of water. Pay attention to the water around you, because it's going to represent your emotions, and it's going to give you an opportunity to shed a new skin and to bring some knowledge into the situation that I think will facilitate a healing energy for our Pisces. And I want to put it this way, because the healing energy for me is never about something outside of myself coming in and making it better. It's about me being able to look at a situation and assess it in a way that gives me information to move my story forward. So here, the B card is about not only good luck, but I will be healed. I will reconcile the situation as I look at my being energy. So I go back for Pisces, because here, Oceana is saying to lovingly assert yourself. And in order to do that, you're going to have to spend some time reconciling what you really want and getting brave, so that you can check in your being energy. Because in the final position, we have Archangel Uriel and we have the butterfly. And I think that what this is saying is that you're uh, being put through a period of time where your frustration, that's what Archangel Uriel will represent, healing of frustration, but also the reconciliation. Where is this frustration coming from? And then the butterfly is about the transformation of it. But oftentimes when we see the butterfly, we only pay attention to the butterfly. We don't think about the journey that this creature went to become a butterfly. It was first the caterpillar with very small sight, and then it went into the cocoon, and it started to feel like it was dying. It's getting darker and darker, and then the transformation comes. So for Pisces this week, I believe it's very much about taking action to assert yourself towards your deepest truth. Allow yourself a time to connect in nature. And I saw somebody, oh, Janet, you live near the Great Lakes. That's an awesome, you don't have to be on the actual lake. There's the ways. I've been trying to impress upon the audience to have a broader viewpoint of certain things and not be so literal with them. So it could be something as simple as a cup of drinking water that triggers Pisces to start to think about doing things your way, the way you want them, to very much sit in the energy of, if I can dream it, I can do it. It's possible. But in order to dream it, I've got to go into that being energy and go deep into that dream. Okay. I didn't really see any romance necessarily in this spread for Pisces, but I want to say that intuitively I'm getting a feeling that if indeed, even if you're already in a marriage, if you're already connected, I feel like you're going to be feeling your vibration a little more, your mojo, as if almost people would be saying to you, "Hey, Pisces, what's up with you? You're glowing. You're looking vibrant." Let that flow this week, okay? And watch yourself, watch that energy that you're putting out come back at you in a way that's validating. I want to say that as well. Oh my goodness, Paula. Oh my goodness, what were those millions of bees doing? I hope that they were pollinating things and doing what the bees need to do to keep our ecosystem rolling. All right, let's go on to our Aquariuses. We are in the season of Aquarius now. We have a few planets there. I think Mercury's in Aquarius now. The sun, obviously, and like the moon. The moon. Oh boy, what a moon this was a few days ago, guys. Oh yeah. And as I said, it wasn't necessarily for me, but a lot of my clients were taking it, right on the cheek. Okay. Here we go, Aquarius. It's very interesting, Paula, because of the number of bees is very interesting because I always think of the bee as representing my being energy. What am I believing? What is my disposition? What is my attitude as I am putting myself in my actions? So I would have to say that you were probably should be paying attention to your being energy right now and see if you're taking actions based on things you think are safe and realistic, or they're things that actually pull to your heart. Okay, good morning, Molly. It's good to see you. Good morning, Dan's Malin. Good morning, Sophia. Sammy's mom, Sammy. LH. Okay, I think we got everybody. All right, let's go on to our Aquariuses. Again, I go rising, moon, sun, and stelliums with my emphasis really with the sun last, guys. I don't even listen to my sun sign anymore when they do the when like Lada does her monthlies. I just listen to my rising. Oops, I dropped my crystal. Hold on. I always sit with my crystal, my rose quartz crystal in my lap when I do this. Okay. Here we go. Aquarius. Our first angel is is Uriel. Ariel. My tongue. Then we have Athena. The next is Celeste. And the final is Maya. Oh, I love that. Bees are a sign of the divine feminine, Mother Earth, the pollination. That totally makes sense to me. Thank you, Azura. Thank you so much for bringing that up. All right. And it's funny, too. This week, I have a dog toy that's a bee, and I bet you if I turn around, it's on the floor. Lucky's been playing with it more. He hasn't played with it in a year, and he pulled it out of his toy box and has been throwing it around. So maybe we do have a totem this week. Maybe it's bees. Okay, here we go. Ariel is being joined by the restriction card. Very interesting. Athena is being joined by the butterfly. Celeste is being joined by the cat. And Maya is being joined by the birth and the rebirth card. Okay, so for my Aquariuses, Ariel talks about the connection to spirit, the way that you start to view yourself and start to realize that, a lot of people talk about God and angels, and they put them on a platform that's unattainable to the human. And that's not true, because their focus is on the human. Their focus is on us and our experiences, because in spirit, they experience things. Okay, I want to be more succinct. I believe that in spirit, the reason we incarnate is because we can't touch each other. We can't kiss. We can't eat. We can't smoke. We can't drink. We can't play sports. We don't have a body. So when spirit is watching over us and our team is watching over us, they feel the things we feel. They feel the experiences we are having. That's part of the whole story. So for Aquarius, new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view yourself and others. I believe that the other side, that spirit is becoming much more tangible, much more earth, feeling it like you feel your friends coming over. But I want to say here, the restriction card. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little counterintuitive here, because I feel like Aquarius, you're an air sign. You're ruled by Uranus, which rules the airwaves. To me, the restriction card is about connecting even more deeply to spirit, even more rooted into it. It's almost as if while you're getting ready in the morning, you're saying to spirit, well, thank you for that great day that I'm going to have. Thank you for that great meeting with my boss. Thank you for da-da-da-da-da. And then as you say that, you take a pause. You don't necessarily jump into action for it. And in doing so, there's a blossoming that's happening when you're starting to realize that spirit is leading you. Spirit is hearing your your words, and your words are backed by your emotion. So then they will guide you to lovingly assert yourself, which is bringing you into a whole other realm. And I say this because in my angel's advice, I have Celeste and I have the cat. Celeste talks about a happy move to a new home or a new place of employment. But for me, I think a certain way. You can put me in any job, in any location, and I have a certain way of thinking, which is how I'm going to take my actions. Aquarius, you're shifting the way you're thinking into more independent thought, healthy boundaries from fear based people who will tell you that things aren't realistic or you can't do this or blah, whatever their story is. And this is how you're lovingly asserting yourself. This is your opportunity to move past all of those things because, ooh, and I just got chills everywhere. Maya is a card of schooling and education, but it's my energetic education. It's not, to me, very rarely is it about going into a building and learning math or English. It's about learning how my energy sets the tone for my experience, and then you're being offered a rebirth. So here we have this moment for Aquarius. Sit back and to examine their connection to spirit in a more rooted way, taking a pause to really look and see. Like, I almost want to say to Aquarius, if you reflect right now in certain situations, even the disruptive situations, can you not see that spirit is leading you to a new beginning, to a new chapter, a new opportunity? And in doing so, it is based on your being able to move yourself into the vision of what you want and allow yourself to shift the way you're thinking. Um, when I started doing this work, every single one of my family members, except potentially my grandmother, and by the time I actually started owning my gift, my grandmother was no longer with us, but she was into astrology and she liked to, dabble in things that were unseen. I guess I'll put it that way. So when I finally started to really own my gift, my sister laughed in my face and said, "Teresa, angels don't talk to you." And I thought, well, you know what? Somebody's talking to me. I don't know who they are, but they are. And it was my willingness to step outside of the norm, out of what everyone else thought, and to continue to let my intuitions to stack them up. That's what I'm saying, Aquarius. Start reviewing them. Start looking at how, whoa, I think things are actually lining up. First, this thing happened, and then this happened, and then I saw this weird thing on TV. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go on to our Capricorns. Oh, I don't know what your dream book is, but I think that a great one to look at is Animals Speak by Ted Williams. I think that's his name. Hold on, let me see. I think it is Ted Williams. It's a really great book. It's based on Native American culture, CJD. So you'll see this particular book has bird totems. It has animal totems broken down by reptiles, etc. So you might look into that. It's a great, great book. Okay. All right, here we go. On to our Capricorns. So Pluto and Saturn, they're a degree away from each other finally. It's not much, but it's something. Okay. Okay, here we go. For our Capricorns, our first angel is Shanti. The second is Rosetta. The third is Chantal. Ooh, I got chills everywhere. And the final is Maya. All right, here we go. Good morning, Into the Light. Good morning, Nirvana Flux. Good morning, Anastasia. Good morning, Tanya. I think it's Tanya or Tanja. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Okay. Did I miss anybody? I think I got it. Oh, Ritu, good morning. Okay. All right, Capricorn. Chantal's the romance angel. She's over there. Venus and Pisces. Pisces, blah, blah. Venus and Neptune hanging out together for the whole week. Well, I should say, I think it starts today and goes through till Wednesday. But they'll still be close. Oh, Ted Andrews. Thank you. Thank you, Green Demeter, intuitive astrologer. Thank you. That's right. I've got something blocking it. I can't see it from here without moving. Okay, here we go. We have done Pisces, we've done Aquarius, we're going on to Capricorn, and I go backwards. I started this a couple of Mercury retrogrades ago, and now I can't go forwards anymore the normal way. I have to do it backwards. I have Uranus in the 5th house of Leo, guys. Okay, joining Shanti is Merlin. Joining Rosetta is the Perception card. Joining Chantal is the Restriction card. And joining Maya is the Schooling and Education card. Okay, I really like using 2 decks because one deck tells one story, but the second deck added to it starts a different story. So for my Capricorns, here we go. Shanti is the angel of peace. She's offering a smoother road ahead. But before that peace can come in, we've got to look at what is disrupting that peace. And in some respects, with Merlin here, I think it might have something to do with balance. And I'm going to jump to the final position for my Capricorns, because when I talk about balance, I have Maya, the card of schooling and education that we just got for Aquarius, and we have the Baird. The Baird talks about my history, talks about my story, talks about where I've been. So I feel like for my Capricorns that in order for peace, for a new chapter to come in, there is going to have to be a balancing of what has come before and allowing for something new. And I say that because here is Rosetta. Rosetta is going to be a childlike innocence for me. This is in my opportunity and or my obstacle. And then there's the Perception card. You know, my little goats, you're practical, you're realistic, you're good materially most of the time, you guys, unless there's some crazy aspects going on. And I think that believing in magic sometimes, believing in things that are unseen is a little bit harder for my goats. And that's what I feel like this conjunction's been doing for you particularly, is giving you permission to examine your history and to see things from a new perspective. And I say that because when we go, okay, so we have Rosetta and the Perception card about allowing for an innocence, a shift in your perception, because I feel like this is what I'm going to say. The Angel's Advice, we have the Restriction card, and we have Chantal. Chantal is the card of romance and the resurgence of love in one's life. In the Restriction card, could Capricorn be feeling challenged a little bit in their love life because of your perceptions? Because we get to a certain, I'm going to back up because I don't even want to say we get to a certain age. Being a teenager and falling in love is the most scary road ever. You don't know it when you're a teenager, thank God. But with excuse me, I just got distracted by one of the comments, so I'm going to let Small Wildflowers handle that, I think. But let me say this for Capricorn. I feel like in order for Shanti to bring in the peace you want, Merlin bring in the balance you want, you're going to have to allow a perception to shift your perception. When we're teenagers and we're starting our exploratory and curiosity phase of the people going back and forth, meeting each other, boys and girls, newness of all of it, you know, feeling our hormones, that platform with which we start our romantic history, it's not fair to you when you get older to go there because it is an exploratory phase. So what I feel like for Capricorn, and I'm sorry I got so distracted by the troll in the chat, is that in order for you to really enjoy your love life the way you want to, it's about shifting your perception to a more childlike innocence, that the things I've experienced before don't necessarily need to sit in my today. And if they are in my today, I've been here before, so I know I can move them out. So I feel like for Capricorn, rising, sun, moon, and stelliums, being able to open up and invite in a little bit more intimate love into your life, regardless of whether or not you are currently in a relationship, because spirit can start to stoke that relationship. Now let's go back to the idea of Venus and Neptune being conjunct. This can be a very romantic time. It can also allow us in some ways to burst a bubble of illusion. And when I say that, I don't mean it in a negative way. I mean it if we have been, the object of our love has been, if we've been putting on rose-colored glasses in some ways or assigning something different, we can allow that illusion to go away so that we can love in a more authentic and realistic way, because we are all flawed. We all have our moments. We all have wake up sometimes and our face is smushed and our wrinkles are weird and just all sorts of things. So I just feel like for my Capricorns, there's a a, a blurring of the reality of life and a more stepping into a childlike innocence, believing more in the future, believing more in your ability to create loving, romantic, fun dynamics within your intimate body. And I want to say this too for you, Capricorn, because Pluto and Saturn have been hanging out, it could be really drawing to that area of your life. It could be making you feel like, oh, it's never going to happen. Or even if it happens, it's just going to be like, bleh. And so if you can give life to the idea that, well, maybe this is how it feels like this right now um, because Saturn and Pluto are hanging out. Maybe the whole reason that part of this feeling, this restriction is because of this dynamic, and maybe things aren't really as dry as they seem. So giving yourself a little moment to step back, that's what I want to say, and reassess, and then step forward knowing that balance is coming. I hope that made sense, guys. Sometimes that chat, every once in a while I get a little troll in there and they say something and it just throws me off, which is why I love Small Wildflowers so much for taking such good care of me and the whole audience. Okay, we are going on to our Sagittariuses. Before I go on, for you, those of you that are doing the timestamps, I start and then I stop. I really want to kind of go back to this whole idea of our love lives, and that when we start these love lives in our teenage years, we are definitely, if we think about it as grown-ups, it was all about exploration, not just the exploration of someone else, but exploration of ourselves in relation to someone else, how we landed on them. That first guy that was so charming, or the first girl that when she walked away, you were like, wow. These are the things that if we allow ourselves to put those in perspective, then we don't have to hang our hat on our heartbreak. We can say that was a way of identifying a certain energy that would serve me in the future to see when true connection is aligned. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay, all right. All right. Nikki, I know I saw somewhere that you are in a challenge situation with your home. I just want to offer this idea for you that in there, some of my most darkest moments, and I had one where I lost everything I own and literally was in my mid-40s, sleeping on an air mattress, working in a bakery for $5 an hour. Oh my God, it was really a challenging time. But I will say this, as I swam my way out of it, and it took 2 years to get just hippo eyes again, I became very intentional. So I want to offer, there could be a big rainbow on the end of this challenging situation for you. Okay. Thank you, you guys, for watching those trolls for me too. Okay. All right, here we go. Good morning, Stephen. Great to see you here. Congratulations on your new 3rd grade classroom. That's exciting. All right, here we go. We're going on to our Sagittariuses. Okay. Our first angel is Bridget. The second is Maya. The third is Rosetta. And the final is Ariel. I actually shuffled these cards. You see me do that, right? The same angels seem to come out each week. It's kind of funny. It's like there's a running theme. Yes, Sammy's mom, Sammy. Challenges do make us stronger. I think kind of sometimes when we think about the road and we want that ease, if we never had a challenge and we get to where we want to be, it can be a really scary place because we haven't gone through a challenge that lets us know that we have the resources that we need. So I think that's kind of important. Okay, joining Bridget is the Wealth card. Joining Maya is the Horse. Joining Rosetta is the Deer. And joining Ariel is the Birth and the Rebirth card. Okay. So, Sagittarius, the Wealth card for me is never about material resources. It's always about harmonious wealth. It's about thriving and feeling good in many areas of my life. My financial body, my spiritual body, my emotional body, my physical body, my all the different dynamics. And here's Bridget. And I want to offer this because when I looked at this, the first thing I thought was that there's the potential that Sagittarius is looking at things on the surface and not liking things as much as they may want to. They may This Saturn conjunction this year or in 2019 made me feel like I was never doing enough, never making enough money, never feeling enough flow. And yet when I would go back and do my stats, it would be a different story. And so I had to look deeper into the idea that I have grown into my work. I've grown into a certain dynamic. So the things that got me super excited when I started, I've gotten used to. And so this is for my Sagittarius. This is to look deeper because I think there are better things or more things that are lining up if you actually looked a little bit deeper than what's just happening day to day. Add the days up, add the experiences up. And I'm gonna go to the fourth position because Sagittarius got the birth and the rebirth card again. And so Ariel came up. Again, we are all as a community who come here on Sundays, who watch Lada's videos, who are seeking more from ourselves than just what we see on the surface of the human experience. We are changing the world one little minute at a time. And so as Sagittarius looks deeper, my wealth is coming from bigger places than just my pocket. My wealth is coming from bigger places than just somebody else's opinion of me. And this offers a rebirth. And it is because of your connection to spirit. And I'm going to go now into my opportunity or my obstacle because again, Maya is the card of schooling and education. This is my education of my intention and my focus and my energetic body. And then I have the horse. Now, I do talk about the horse being a very intuitive animal. It does not follow fear, but it also carves new directions. It gives us the ability to go further than we could go on our own 2 feet. So for Sagittarius, who's ruled by a horse, it's time for you to really step into that education of what is my focus? Where is it taking me? Because in the angel's advice, we have Rosetta, which talks about parenting and teaching. And yes, Stephen, it could be, but this is the inner child. And this is about being gentle with yourself as you go through this education where your intuitions supersede your fears and supersede your practical human experience that you're having right now. That's what I want to say for Sagittarius. So I'm going to go a little deeper with this because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter rules the angelic realm. It rules foreign places, foreign things, and foreign ideas, foreign beliefs. So I think as you're walking through this week and the weeks ahead, okay, for my Pisces, there is more riches for you, more rich experiences, more savory dynamics for you than just feeling safe in a job, than just feeling safe with a roof over your head. And I feel like Spirit is saying and Bridget is saying to look deeper because you're being offered a 2.0 version of yourself. And that 2.0 version is where your wants and desires are aligned to your material fluidity, is the way I want to use it. Okay, here we go. Okay, wait. Okay, Sammy, Mom, Sammy, you're confused by the flow. Okay, so I think the flow is what sign should I listen to? Okay, so this is how I think it goes, and this is for me. My rising sign is Aries, even though I'm a Libra sun. I'm very Aries. My moon is a Taurus. My moon is very powerful for me. It's my moon is the second most, to me, palatable energy I can feel astrologically. Then if I had a stellium, I'd want to pay attention to that because a stellium is a cluster of planets that's focused energy in one area. And then I go to my sun sign. I do that because my sun sign is what I think balances out the Aries and the Taurus. So I want to offer you this. The one that resonates the most for you, let's say if you're listening to your Cancer rising and that really resonates, but then you listen to Leo and it doesn't, then for this week, the Cancer rising is probably the most influential energy. And allow your intuition. I always want you guys to let your intuition lead you. Your mind will say, am I doing it right or am I doing it wrong? But that measure is by some other human's mind. Some human made up schooling, some human made up structure, some human or group of humans. Pardon me, frog in my throat. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay, here we go. On to our Scorpios. I agree, Nikki. YouTube is a wonderful resource. I use it quite often. I meditate with you all the time with YouTube videos and things like that. I watched a makeup tutorial the other day on it. It was funny. All right, here we go. Scorpio. Oh, Azura Wagner has a Scorpio stellium in your 10th. That's the career house. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go, Scorpio. So as I start Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. So Scorpio, feeling this conjunction between Saturn and having this being going on for so long, I feel like I just want to say surrender to your ruling planet, because while it is the ruler of death and decay, it's also the rising of the phoenix. It is the transformation that we all, I kind of think of the movie Maleficent when I think about it, because Maleficent was always, the evil queen, but nobody looked behind the story of what made her appear to be evil. And if you look at the first movie, which is my favorite of the two, it ends with her, the voiceover saying that there's a little bit of good and bad in us all. And so I feel like for Scorpio, I want to put it this way. Sometimes drifting down into the dark side gets a little easy. We have this challenging moon. It's emotional. Giving yourself a little wiggle room. What's a deeper story here? What's the deeper story? Oh, Violet, 4 planets in one sign or house make a stellium. Okay, here we go, Scorpio. First angel is Rochelle. The second is Fiona. The third is Caressa. And the final is Merlina. Oh, yes, I love the musical Wicked. I loved it. I actually went and saw it on the anniversary of my first anniversary of my father's passing. And yeah, really, really loved it. Enjoyed it so much. In fact, Defying Gravity was one of my anthem songs. I have a whole playlist of songs that when I get into a funk, I listen to, and they get me gassed up and fired up. So, okay, joining Rochelle, my Scorpios, is the frog. Joining Fiona is the earth fairy. Joining Caressa is the novice. And joining Merlina is the stag. Okay, this kind of makes sense to me because Rochelle, my favorite angel, and I know I shouldn't play favorites, but she says, as I honor and follow the guidance of my heart, prosperity is coming to me. But this is harmonious wealth again. This is where I'm feeling and thriving in many areas of my body. And here's the frog. The frog is the releasing of emotional baggage. I don't think that it's a releasing, as much as this sort of plays to what I was saying before I pulled the cards. Pluto rules Scorpio. Pluto is deep and rich and savory and wants to, the connection is almost like, feels like a twinning to me. They want to crawl underneath the skin of their partners. And so to me, this gives, as you allow and surrender to that part of you, there is an opportunity to move to a new lily pad. That's how I want to put it. Because for Scorpio, Fiona is saying, now that you've asked God and the angels, be open to receiving their guidance. You deserve it. And you've been asking for a new beginning, a new platform. And that's evidenced by Caressa and the novice. Caressa represents the end of a chapter, and the novice represents the beginning of a new chapter. And I believe that this new chapter is based on what Scorpio wants from the depths of their heart, from the depths of their soul, regardless of whether anybody else gets it or not. And in that way, I feel like Scorpio gets to be a leader. Now we have Merlina here. Merlina is saying that you're confused and indecisive. I don't know if I think you're confused as much as I think that it may be a bit of a challenge to follow your heart if it feels too far out of the norm. And so it's baby steps, Scorpio. It's a little bit at a time. Don't jump into the deep end of the pool if you're not a good swimmer. Allow yourself the privilege of going a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper at a time. I feel like this is about Scorpio first going interior, and I want to say it this way because oftentimes when we contemplate our lives, it's like this weird ricochet. We have this inspired idea. Oh, I want to be on TV. I was watching Flirty Dancing last night. I love this new reality show. Okay. And I thought, oh my God, I would love to go on that show. And then instantly I thought, oh, I haven't worked out in a long time. It'll probably be really hard. I won't be able to breathe. I'll be sore. And I thought to myself, look what happens to the human mind. You see something exciting and then you instantly go to the challenge. That's what I think is up for Scorpio this week. Little bit of a, following your heart and not knowing exactly if it'll take you anywhere or not, but at least allowing yourself the privilege of following it. Okay, let's go on to our Libras. Oh, I could go on and on about Wicked. Loved Wicked. The story behind it. There's so much rich. I don't know. It feels to me like it's been guided by spirit so much. I love these things. I love these people that are inspired to take the evil characters in our childhood stories and then make sense of them. Because who did we root for? We didn't root for Glinda. We rooted for the Wicked Witch. We rooted for Elzebub. When we watch Maleficent, we see why she does what she does. We see why she gets so big. So yeah, I love these movies. Okay. All right, here we go. On to our Libras. Oh, John Travolta. Yeah, he's a funny guy. All right, here we go, guys. For our Libra sun, Libra rising, Libra moon, Libra sun, and Libra stelliums. Here we go. The first angel is Fiona. The second is Grace and Antoinette. The third is Archangel Uriel. And the final is Rosetta. You see a little pattern here and the same angels coming out? Oh, I've seen Maleficent. I don't even know how many times I've seen the movie. I bought it. And I rented the new one on demand and watched it like 6 times in 48 hours. But I didn't watch it at all until the last time. I was coloring. Did I tell you guys I color? I'm going to show you my coloring. Hold on. Sorry, Libra. Don't be mad at me. Okay. I tend to use coloring as a meditation. So I will sit and I will listen to the television and I'll color. If you guys have trouble meditating, if you have trouble focusing your mind, don't try to quiet your mind. Find an activity that will allow you to go into neutral. Okay, Libra, I'm going on. Teri talks too much in class and interrupts herself. Okay. Libra, joining Fiona is the goblin. Joining Grace and Antoinette is the wasp. Oh. Joining Archangel Uriel is the focus card. And joining Rosetta is the love card. Okay, I'm a Libra sun, so this is really, I got to tell you, this is me too. So, okay. The ego. This is kind of a challenging card. I'm not going to say it's not. It's the wounded ego. It's being stuck in the human experience. And it's not being, I look at this and the first thing I think is I'm not being appreciated. And Fiona is saying, now that you ask God and the angels for help, be open to receiving their help. And in some ways, that's going to ask Libra to look deeper into why their ego is being bruised. And I want to say this because in the opportunity of the obstacles, another challenging dynamic. The wasp and Grace and Antoinette. Grace and Antoinette talks about having compassion, looking at things from another point of view. And the wasp is a stingy card. It's about anger. It's about wanting to get even. It really is. And I want to say this for Libra because Archangel Uriel deals with anger, frustration, and unforgiveness. And there's the focus card. And the final is Rosetta and the love card. And I'm going to go back and make a lot more sense of this because I'm a Libra sun and I totally get it. Because I'm going to tell you this. Rosetta is a card of children, but this is the childlike innocence and the love. So this is what I want to say for my Libras. Your feelings have been hurt somehow. Somehow people have been either taking advantage of you, not appreciating you. Maybe this moon, with all that cranky energy, you got into arguments with people and things that had been, let's say, sitting under the surface. You're like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's not okay. It might be like that. And I feel like you may have been a little bit of a pressure cooker. You may, or this may be coming up this week where you get a little bit and you sort of just, I've had it up to here, as my mom used to say. And I feel like that part of that is your ego has been bruised, but also then there's you beating yourself up for having your ego be bruised and not getting over it and being diplomatic all the time. So, Libra, just love on yourself. Be gentle with yourself like you would with a child. This time of, this time in energetically for me is akin to us all being little butterflies, and we are poking through the cocoon trying to get out so that we can do what we want to do. And that's an arduous task. It's not an easy task. And oftentimes we want people around us to support our decisions or support our inspired ideas, and maybe sometimes they don't. And you could get in a situation where, gosh, I support your ideas. I support you no matter how crazy or cracked you act. Why don't you support me when I want to do something different? I don't know why I'm going here, but this is where I'm going. So I feel like this is a week that if for some reason your ego gets bruised because people don't get it, whatever it is, or they're not giving back in a fair way, this is about taking care of you, stepping out and taking care of you. So if the phone rings and you know that it's somebody who always wants something, hey, how are you? And they just sit and like pause and while you say, oh, I'm fine, and they just can't wait for you to say, oh, how are you? Well, let me tell you. Don't pick up the phone to that person. Give yourself a break with that person. Give yourself a get out of jail free card. Libra, it's all about balance. And sometimes you go out of your way to be balanced in the face of unbalanced, which makes you imbalanced. So if people are being a little cranky with you this week, or if you're feeling cranky at people and you don't want to be seen as the cranky person, then love on you, do what you need to do. Close the door. Don't pick up the phone. Even if it's your mom, unless she says it's 911, give yourself a break. I haven't read a spread like this in a really long time, Libra. So, yeah. We have this conjunction between Venus and Neptune. And part of this may be where Neptune's, delusional a little bit. And so there may be the dynamic where some of the things and you had hoped for and you were, your bubbles may be popped this week. So be gentle with yourself. That's how I want to put it. Okay, let's go on to our Virgos. Okay, thank you, Nikki. I see 131 in a room, 13 likes, but that's my side. Don't know, likes them or change. Interesting. 13 is different than 131. So if you're seeing ones and threes, CJD, then I'd pay attention to the ones and the threes. The ones are about my thought and what am I thinking, and the threes are about learning. They're about teaching. They're about assimilating knowledge. But if you take the two numbers, 131, it reduces to a 5. That's a different meaning. And if you take the 13, it reduces down to a 4. Again, a different meaning. So I tend to want to go with the idea, or what's coming to me is that spirit is reaching to you through the ones and the threes as individual numbers that then mean something. So your thoughts are teaching you something, or you're learning something about your thoughts. I hope that made sense. Okay, here we go. All right. We are going backwards, everybody. For those that are new on my show, I start at Pisces and I work my way to Aries, and we are on Virgo right now. 1111 is very, very powerful right now, and that's a 444. That's all about building, and the twos are about cooperation and connection. Okay, here we go. On to Virgo. Our first angel is Vanessa. The second is Grace and Antoinette. The third is Archangel Raphael. And the final is Fiona. Wow. Like, look at these cards just coming up in different order. Cracks me up. Okay. Okay, joining Vanessa is the Truth card. Joining Archangel, I'm sorry, I keep saying Archangel, I don't know why. Joining Grace and Antoinette is the Spider. Joining Archangel Raphael is the Wealth card. And joining Fiona is the Bee. All right, Virgo, I just gotta say this. This is way better than Libra. No offense. Okay, Virgo, practical, rules the sixth house. Mercury rules the mind. Vanessa is asking you to base your decisions on faith, not fear, and the truth of what you want. I feel like moving forward for my Virgos, you are being nudged. You're being nudged. It's almost as if every time Virgo tries to do something practical to save their safety in their wallet, you're going to get a little bit of a tug on the rug, because I feel like this is not about the things that you can see, the things that are golden nooses, like a paycheck. You know, I'm not telling you guys all to quit your jobs, but when you have a paycheck, you have a finite amount of money, and you'll base your decisions on that finite amount of money. So I think that Spirit is saying to Virgo, I think that go down to your deepest truth and base your decisions on the faith of what you know about who and what you are on the inside. Because the Spider is about creative projects. You can see that on the face of the card. And then we have Grace and Antoinette. As you move to a more creative endeavor, Virgo, something that may seem not quite as practical, this is about having compassion for yourself as you follow a part of you that you're not used to following, and a part that's very important for your happiness, because Archangel Raphael is offering a healing, and then there's the Wealth card. Now, we talked about this Wealth card is about harmonious wealth. It's where I feel great in many areas of my body, not just my money. So Virgo has a great creative dynamic to them. And maybe you don't pay enough attention to that because people are always talking about your mercurial ways, you know, your practicality, your sixth house. But I think that this is a time of victory for you, Virgo, because there's the Bee. The Bee is all about good luck, sweet victory, but it's my being energy. And you've been asking God and the angels for the deepest parts of your truth this whole time. And now it's time for you to be brave and step into it, because opportunities are afoot that you cannot ignore. And if you have not seen them, if they have not made themselves known yet, they will make themselves known. And this may bring you into a bit of a crisis, but not a physical crisis. It's more of a spiritual. Am I going to make my decisions based on what I want for myself? Or am I going to base them on making sure my rent gets paid and the electricity gets paid and there's food on the table? Because the electricity will get paid, the food will be on the table as you follow your faith and your deepest truth, and you step into that belief that then encourages the being energy. Okay, that was very exciting, Virgo. Go do it. Go be it. It's a better way to put it. Because you could do all day long and you really will only get so far. It's the being energy that really takes us over the top. Okay, on to our Leos. Brittany, you can put any number you want in the chat. We do take the numbers out of play, so hopefully it gives you a better opportunity to win the free half hour, and we'll do a recap. It takes us a little while after the show to get all the timestamps in. I think you guys can tell it's probably not easy to do timestamps for me because I start to say I'm going into the reading and then I talk. So be patient. I want to thank everyone in the audience as well. When you put in a timestamp, that makes our job easier, especially Small Wildflower, since she does the majority of the heavy lifting. And I just feel like everybody's supporting us. So thank you. All right, here we go. On to our Leos. Okay. Our first angel is Ray. The second is Indriel. The third is Desiree. And the final is Astera. Okay. Okay. Joining Ray is the deer. Joining Indriel is the communications card. Joining Desiree is the mystery. And joining Astera is the owl. Okay. So this is interesting to me today because this particular spread feels un-Leo-like to me in some ways. And I'm going to say it this way because I don't think of Leo as indecisive. I don't think of Leo as lacking confidence. And I know that's a sweeping generalization because there's all sorts of dynamics. But overall, I love that the sun rules Leo. I love the dynamics of the fifth house. And I feel like oftentimes those of us that are more challenged in expressing our fifth house being get a little bunched up with Leo when they get into their vibe, their groove. And I feel like when I look at this spread, that Leo's actually been considering the group more than themselves over these last few months. It almost feels like, because when I see Ray and the deer, look at Ray. She has her power chakra connected to her third eye, and it's flanked by a green and a blue stripe, which is my heart and my throat. And then I have the deer. This is about gentleness and diplomacy. And so Ray talks about yoga and exercise, but look at her. She's meditating. I think for Leo, this is about, it feels almost like connecting to spirit, but it almost feels like it's in some sort of unconscious way because it feels new for some reason to Leo. And I want to say it like, because there's plenty of Leos in the audience that study astrology, that connect with spirit all the time. So there must be a new way that you're connecting, or a new version of it. It feels different to me because in my opportunity, my obstacle, I have the communications card and I have the light worker card. And, I believe we are all light energy beings by nature. And this is really, to me, speaks to the connection to spirit. It's going back, being gentle as you're digging deeper into your connection with spirit. And I feel like, honestly, sometimes when I meditate, I'm so distracted. I feel like I hear the noise blowers. I feel like I want to get up and get a cup of coffee. I just move around. And I say that because in the angel's advice, I have the mystery card and I have Desiree. And I feel like Leo may be attempting to connect with spirit in a way that is what you're learning in your brain. And I feel like allow yourself some wiggle room. My sister's a Leo. She's a very active woman. She loves to run. She loves to jump up and down and go to the gym and all that stuff. If Leo likes to run or move your body, then use that as part of your meditation to connect with spirit. I feel like this is about changing it up a bit. I feel like this week, this is about your spiritual journey, Leo. It's not about other people. It's not about situations in your life. It's about your connection to the divine and about deepening that connection or making it more palatable so it feels more like it's in a 3D world. And I go there because Astera is saying to reach for the stars, and then I see the owl, and the owl's two sides of one coin. It's deception and wisdom. Is this real? Isn't it real? Is someone talking to me? Aren't they talking to me? Is this all, am I crazy? Am I just going to turn into worm food when this whole story is over? This is what it feels like for Leo. It feels like you're kind of going through this time of connecting to spirit, having to be a little bit more gentle with your indecision or your unknowing or your doubt. Maybe that's the Pluto-Saturn conjunction. But I feel like as you connect with spirit, and I want to say it this way, this week, if indeed you want to get confirmation that there are other people listening to you, other energies that hear you. Start with the parking spaces, you know? Go, hey, I need a parking space. Thank you very much. And then pay attention and start to check the responses you're getting back and forth. Because I feel like this feels like it's the beginning of a new chapter for Leo. And I want to say it this way because I feel like Leos are great manifestors. I love you rule romance, you rule fun, personal pleasure. So as you get into that, knowing that without that, the human experience is less than. Your energy is so important. And I feel like you've been trying to be you and making others happy at the same time. And it's been confusing and hard. And I feel like now it's time to go to spirit in a gentle and diplomatic way that says, I want this connection to be more palatable to me. I want to feel like I'm having a conversation with you. And then looking for the communications back. And that feels like it'll dig in a little deeper. We'll see. Okay, let's go on to our Cancers. You know, this is the thing about the trolls. You know, they're probably the people that need our sympathy the most, only because that the word troll just makes me feel like there's angry people with nothing to do. There's angry people. People are angry because they don't feel a sense of purpose, don't feel a sense of value in their own lives. So I appreciate all you guys. If we kick them out of the room, that's that. But also having don't let them mess with your energy. Don't take it too deep. All right, let's go into our Cancers. Okay, Mila Kamara. I think I missed something. Oh, spread 3 sections, 3 hours, opportunity, obstacles. Oh, okay, let me explain the spreads. So the first position, just to clarify for you guys that are new on the show, the first position is the foundational position. It's the energy that, it's like a snapshot of the energy that we're starting this week in the platform on. The second position is the opportunity and or the obstacle. If you look at something, you can always see an opportunity, but every opportunity has an inherent obstacle and every obstacle has an inherent opportunity. In the third position is the angel's advice for how to get around the opportunity, get around the obstacle, or take advantage of the opportunity. And the final position is it's like a snapshot of the energy as it's shifted and where you're going, what you're going into, the next step that you will take. So if we just take Leo real quickly, the connection to spirit will illuminate a light within them that up until now they've been dimming or can't see within themselves. And it's time to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires. Okay, now we're going to Cancer. Wolf is one of my animal totems as well. Absolutely love the wolf. I don't know if you guys saw on, I'm pretty sure that the guy thought it was a coyote. It wasn't a coyote. It was probably a husky, but somebody thought a coyote was in their yard playing with their dog's toys. And I think if it was anything, it was a wolf. It was too big to be a coyote. But wolves are, they're loyal. They used to have this show called, what was it? Warriors and Wolves or something. It was pretty cool. It's about vets who, when they got out of service, worked with saving the wolves from poaching and stuff like that. All right, here we go. On to our Cancers. Giving it a good shuffle. I was born in the year of the pig. I'm a pig. Pigs are very loyal too, by the way. Okay, here we go. For our Cancers, our first angel is Archangel Michael. The second is Xana. The third is Archangel Gabriel. And the final is Maya. And just in between, just so let's announce again to Melissa, you won. So funny, because you're usually here, and I don't think we've seen you in the chat today, but Melissa Mansauer, you won the half-hour reading last week. Elephants and wolves are both very loyal. Wolves mate for life. They are part of a pack. They take care of things in their pack, and so do elephants. Isn't it interesting how these totems bring us community? And here we are being a pack of a pack of wolves and a pack of elephants together in our human form. Okay. Archangel Michael is being joined by the wealth card. We're on to Cancer, everybody. Xana is being joined by the mystery. Archangel Gabriel is being joined by the king. And Maya is being joined by the partnership card. Okay, for my Cancers. Archangel Michael in this particular sense is saying that he is asking us to have the courage to make the changes that are most authentic to ourselves. And here we have the wealth card. Again, this wealth card represents harmonious wealth. It's more than just money. It's more than just material wealth. It's where I feel thriving in my relationships. I feel thriving in the flow of my life in all the facets. And what Archangel Michael is asking Cancer is to have the courage to step into that energy. And I'm going to go to the final position, which is the platform with which you'll be moving forward, because this is a time of learning the partnership within yourself. This is about seeing yourself in a new way. This is about stepping. It's the courage to see yourself where you want to be. And Maya is saying energetically, in order to create that, you're going to have to connect with that part of yourself. In some ways, the moon can, give you shadows. The moon, it goes through phases, different parts of light and dark. And I feel like for some reason that Cancer could get stuck a little bit into the darker phases of your emotions, and it's hard to see what it is that would bring you that wealth. And I want to say it because Spirit is saying it's your own choice. The mystery card is about choice. There is no right or wrong in what makes you happy. And just because somebody else gets happiness from some certain dynamic, it doesn't mean that you have to get happiness from it as well, because this is the card of protection. And it's the card of emotional protection, spiritual protection. So Spirit is asking you to make your choices, knowing you're being protected. And here's Archangel Gabriel asking you to turn over your insecurities, to talk to her. And the king in this respect is not about a male energy for me. It is about justice, balance. It's about karma. And it is your karma to have the things that you want. It is your dharma for all of us as humans. But right now, for Cancer, it's extremely important for you to allow yourself the privilege of stepping into this new chapter, where you see your life from a place of not shutting down, but of opening up. And if certain things have, when we contemplate our own, what makes us feel wealthy, when we contemplate it, again, there's always the boomerang. How am I going to get there? Is it possible? Are the years gone by? La, 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 la. Those questions will never get you anywhere. Stepping into Spirit. You know what, Archangel Michael? I don't know if I have the courage, so I'm going to you to ask you and thank you for giving me the courage to be brave in my own life, to step into that vibration of feeling what it is I want, and then I will take guide action as you inspire me. This feels very emotional for Cancer. It feels very almost like, the depths of your soul is speaking to you and no longer wants to be ignored. And I don't want to beat myself up for ignoring it as much as there comes a season of time. When I first started doing my work, there was no such thing as the internet. There was no such thing as a computer in your home. I could never have fathomed that it was Yelp and people finding me on Yelp that would help support my career. And then Spirit would nudge people from out of state to look for me. I'd be talking, how did you find out about me? I was searching Yelp. Oh, are you local? No, I'm 3,000 miles away. Crazy. But that's the cool thing. That's where you're being protected. You just have to choose it. All right, let's go into our Geminis. Excuse me. Excuse me. I like elephants too. I go through phases of things. I have a real cute little stack of elephants I got from Pier 1. It's in my room. And they all have I don't know if you guys know, but trunks up is good luck. So when you're picking out your readings, I just saw Patricia's comment. When you're looking at elephants, if you're thinking about bringing one into your home, trunks up is good luck. So, and I only bought one elephant with the trunk down, but it was so beautiful, I had to have it anyway. Okay, here we go, Gemini. Okay. Our first angel for Gemini is Oceana. The second is Layla. The third is Ariel. And the final is Archangel Michael. Again, Gemini rising, moon, sun, and stelliums. Stelliums is 4 or more planets. Some people say 3 in one sign or one house. It is a concentrated energy going towards you. Okay, here we go. Well, joining Oceana is the movement card as it flies out of the deck. Layla is being joined by the wasp. Ariel is being joined by the frog. And the raven is being joins Archangel Michael. All right, for my Geminis. We kind of started this, if I remember correctly, Pisces got Oceana in the foundational position. And I want to kind of reiterate this for Gemini because Oceana is swimming to the surface. She is in water, obviously, Oceana. Water represents emotion. We also have a whale in the background. The whale represents the soul's desires and yearnings. And I believe for my Geminis, this is about taking action towards your soul's yearnings because there is the movement card. And I believe that there's more going on than maybe Gemini can see with their eyes. And I say that because in the opportunity, the obstacle, we have the wasp, and you may be a little PO'd, pissed off because you don't feel like things are happening, but something's moving. Something's happening beyond your ability to see. And Layla is asking you to step into nature, to talk to God and the angels, to give you signs and omens so that you can feel supported while you're going through this period of time. Now, let me offer you this, because taking action to lovingly assert yourself, this is emotional action. I want to be very clear. When I'm talking about Oceana swimming up through the water and the whale in the background, I don't know that I feel like this is about going out and pounding the pavement, because the movement card feels like it's a movement of my emotions. And up until now, I have been frustrated with the way things are going. But in the angel's advice, Ariel and the frog are offering some sort of reconciliation of your experience. The frog is going to talk about cleaning house, cleaning emotional baggage, but also, to me, it's going from one lily pad to another. And then Ariel says new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view yourself and the world. I feel like, so I'm going to go to the final position, Archangel Michael and the raven. Archangel Michael is really asking you to have courage. The courage is about this. This is the courage. The courage is about standing in your emotional body to have your emotions shifting, your emotions being more authentic. Your emotions might scare you because you're like, I want something new and different that nobody has seen or heard, or even from myself. And then it's a timing issue. Something's happening and brewing for our Geminis. And it is happening kind of what feels like I almost feel like I hear like a choo-choo train. So your job right now is to hold the line. Hold the line of what it is you want. Get out of your stories. Get out of the what's happened before. And then say to Spirit, thank you for giving me the signs and the omens so that I know you've got the baton. And when you pass it back to me, I will step forward. So, emotional body. So let me just kind of give you a scenario, all right? Let's go to the two Geminis love body. And let's say that you've been wanting a partner, but you haven't met anybody. And so you're starting to go, well, I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to do me. I'm just going to do me. And you say that, but you're saying it with an energy that's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Oceana is saying, get real, Gemini. It's going to happen. It just hasn't been the right person yet. I hope that made sense. Let's go on to our Tauruses. A lot of us here that are wanting to manifest certain things, relationships, jobs, careers, influence, wealth, we've been swimming through this Pluto-Saturn conjunction, and we won't talk about all the other things that happen that are squaring and moving and backwards. This has been a 2-year, 2.5-year period of getting clean with what we want. Instead of, because most of the time the human will say what it wants in reference or in relation to how it will be received. And that's what I think Pluto is saying. No, I don't want to care what anyone else. I want what people can't see. I want it to come and be bubbled to the surface. And what I believe Saturn has been doing has been demanding our being energy. You know, Saturn says, do the hard work. And the human interprets that as pounding the pavement, making, struggling. But the hard work is believing, being, that energy, that disposition, that attitude that then takes us into our action. All right, on to Taurus. I gotta hurry, guys. I'm gonna run out of battery. All right. For our Taurus, our first angel is Francesca. Our second is Rosetta. The third is Archangel Michael. And the final is Athena. Oop. Thought I threw it on the floor. Is your mom an actress, Stephen? Because I would think with that Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, she could be a fabulous actress. Okay, here we go. Francesca is being joined by the Eagle. Rosetta is being joined by the Focus. Archangel Michael is being joined by the Goblin. And Athena is being joined by the Let It Go card. Okay. Taurus. Now, you have Uranus transiting your sign for the next few years. And Uranus is a very exciting, a very electric energy. And I want to say this because I feel like, and I'm a Taurus moon, so Uranus is going to hit at 9 degrees, it's going to hit me. And I want to say it this way because I've been trying to think about these transits and how am I going to perceive Uranus's energy? Is it going to suddenly tank me? Is it suddenly going to? No, I think it's the opposite. And this is what I want to say for Taurus, because visualize what you want and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. And I want to say it this way. I don't believe that you should be positive. If you're feeling super negative, being positive is not the answer. Neutrality is the answer. Because on some level, Taurus is being guided somewhere that they don't know where they're going. So this is the thing. You're being guided by your heart chakra. You're being guided by your oversoul. You're being guided by the larger contract you made with spirit. And now is this time when some of this is being activated, okay? And I feel like your job is to go deep into your heart and remember what it is you want activated. Because here's the Focus card and here is Rosetta. I could go into parenting and teaching, but when I'm talking, I feel like I'm talking to individuals, and happy parents make happy children. And as we learn to follow and honor the guidance of our heart, that's what we teach our children. So for my Tauruses, where is your focus this week? And allow your focus to be on the innocence that a child, when the child puts on their Buzz Lightyear costume, they're going to infinity and beyond. So because a little bit in the angel's advice is your ego, Taurus, may be a little bit, I want to say it this way because this is in the angel's advice. And I think what the angels are asking is to be courageous beyond what the ego will tell you. The ego is the naysayer. The ego is the one that says, I don't know, have you done enough? Are you good enough? Are you pretty enough? Are you skinny enough? Are you blah, blah, blah enough? Archangel Michael is asking you to have courage beyond those questions. Yes, I am. I don't need to be skinny. I don't need to be beautiful. I just need to be intentional. I need to trust that it is my emotional body and my intention that starts to create my experience because, Taurus, Athena is saying to lovingly assert yourself, towards what you want. You guys, this letting go card has never been about letting anything go for me. It's about distance from fear. It's about doing things my way. And so for my Tauruses, what does Uranus represent? Liberation, independence, creative expression of your own. I want to say for my Tauruses, for this week, with this idea of Venus and Neptune coming together, allow spirit to illuminate any illusions that may be happening in the Venusian area. The Venusian area is not just love. It's my value of myself. It's my possessions. It's my money. It's the things that rule my second house. It also rules the seventh house of partnerships, of being fair, of being diplomatic. So as Taurus allows spirit to lead them past their ego and in the ego and more into the childlike focus of the truth, the depths of what we want, then I feel like we're starting to move a story forward, a more authentic story, a more deeper, richer experience. Now, let me put it this way. For Taurus, let's say that you've wanted a job. You've wanted this dream job. It's always been your, desire to be a major influencer at Google or at Yahoo or at TikTok. You could go through a whole series of yes, no's about this whole idea. Your job is not to go that place. Your job is to say to spirit, I think I would be the greatest person ever to influence blah, 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 and I want to be there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow myself to dream about what that feels like when I'm actually sitting in that area. And then I'm going to take my actions based on my focus. Because if I take my actions when my ego is being checked, then I'm going to be going like this in a circle. Okay. I hope that made sense. All right. What did we fact check? What happened? What did I miss? Let's see. Who crashed? What? Did someone, what? There was a helicopter crash? I didn't see that. I don't know what that was about. Feathers are absolutely signs from heaven, every single one of them, no matter how tattered it is. Oh my God, Kobe Bryant died? Oh my God. Okay, that totally flipped me out, guys. Oh my goodness. All right, let's go on to our Aries and get that wrapped up. But listen to me say this, fated events, guys. There's a lot going on right now. Pay attention. Do your best to stand in your heart chakra. Don't go into your head too much because your head is going to take you down a road. This is a time to claim yourself. Wow, I'm just blown away by this whole thing. Really just threw me off, guys. So threw me off. Whoa. Let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment and say prayers for Kobe's children, for his wife, for the people he influenced and that will be mourning his loss. Really, really sad. All right, guys, let's go on to Aries and wrap this up for the day. Really sad. All right, Aries, here we go. I want to offer you this too, guys, because as a collective, for us all to sort of find this information out together, I really think that supports what the message is for this week, to follow our hearts, to do the things that we wanted. You know, Kobe lived a fabulous life. He did follow his heart. He got to be everything he wanted to be as far as I can see from the outside. So in that respect, God bless him. All right, here we go, guys. I know I could cry. I could cry. And I'm not even a basketball fan. It's just, I've had 2 other deaths this week, guys. I had one, a client was here yesterday and her grandfather passed while we were in a session. And then I had a client whose husband passed right after the eclipse. I mean, the lunar, the 10th. Yeah, the lunar eclipse. All right, here we go, Aries. Our first angel is Adriana. Our second is Isabella. Our third is Crystal. And our final is Bridget. Big prayers going up for Kobe and his family and all those that he touched in the basketball community. All right, joining Adriana for our Aries is the Baird. Joining Isabella is the hawk. Joining Crystal is the love card. And joining Bridget is the queen. Okay, so I want to offer it this way. For my Aries, normally when I see the Baird, I talk about my history, about, with the story of which I come from. I'm going to swap that up for this particular reading because Adriana is saying she's leading you towards the answers to our prayers, through our thoughts, through our dreams, through those subtle intuitions. And then Baird is also the enchantment of storytelling through music. Aries, I think this week, a playlist. As Spirit is leading you towards the answers to your prayers. And I want to say it this way. I say that phrase often, the answer to our prayers. To me, it's almost like an equivalent of the deeper truth of my soul. The part of me that is, I had lipstick on my chin. The part of me that is, that sees a bigger version of what I've actually experienced. And so I feel like for this week, Aries, allowing yourself to create a playlist that supports that version of yourself. And I'm going to go to the final position because even if you're not feeling like the queen in your life or the king, as the case may be, I think that things are moving more than you realize. And this is a time to allow yourself to anchor in. It's one of those times when spirit is moving things around and things are happening that you may not be able to see with the naked eye because things are moving. The timing is right for this new venture, and spirit is starting to give you signs and omens. And here we have Crystal saying, have faith and hope. There's more on the horizon that you can't see. And there's the love card. I feel like there is an opportunity to step into a deeper truth, Aries, a deeper, a more authentic life experience for you. And this week is a time to, rather than trying to move things forward, Aries loves to take action. This is about thinking about your truth and then finding musical songs. I want to put it that way. Music. I don't care if they have words or lyrics or not, but something that resonates. For me, when I energetically see prayers to heaven, they're musical notes that fly to heaven. Music to me is God's language, much more so than my eyes. So I want to offer this week for Aries, I feel like there's a bit of a pause for you. This isn't about necessarily taking action. It's about taking action on the interior of finding music or things. I'm just going to say music, songs that support your version of yourself and sort of bathing in them as we go through this week. Because again, while we have this beautiful conjunction between Neptune and Venus, it also can be a very it can break up illusions, which then bring a spiritual awakening. Neptune's a very spiritual planet, and our self-worth is attached to Venus. So here we find our self-worth and our spirituality coming together to create a larger picture of trusting what we can't see with our eyes, but we know with our heart. All right, guys, I'm going to tell you, I really could just cry over this Kobe thing. So, yeah, let's be happy. And while it's very, very sad for the human to cross over, it is a birth on the other side. And the way that we prepare for a baby coming into the world with showers and celebrations, there is also celebration on the other side for a soul that returns home. So while there's a part of me that's deeply saddened for all the people who Kobe touched, there is celebration on the other side, welcoming him home. So try to remember that, guys. All right, that's it for today. I want to thank you all for coming. I just love all being here every Sunday with you guys. So I'm a little choked up, to be honest. So I'm just going to say goodnight and goodbye, and I'll see you next week. Namaste, everybody. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself.